So, my man Elon Musk appears on Joe Rogan again and explains some things, both technology as well as politically. The whole conversation is fascinating, and I highly recommend that you guys check it out. So I've taken a few highlights for you guys, so make sure to watch the whole thing. Elon's going to go through about 4 different items, and thumb up the video and leave me a comment with your thoughts as we go through this.
Is because if the hundreds of billions of dollars to create a financial incentive to have this giant magnet to attract illegals from every part of Earth to these states, if that is turned off, the illegals will leave because they're no longer being paid to come to the United States and stay here.
Wow.
And then they will lose
the money magnet that attracts all the illegals, all of the gifts given out by the Democrats in an effort to garner a permanent majority.
A lot of voters. The Democratic Party will lose a lot of voters.
And they would have a very difficult job if this is kicked out of reintroducing it into a new bill.
Yes.
Especially once things start normalizing.
Yes. So, in a nutshell, the Democratic Party wants to destroy democracy by importing voters. And
when they say protect our democracy, they mean their democracy, our democracy, not including anybody that disagrees with us in the slightest.
The Republican Party disagrees with that.
And the ruse is that if you don't accept what they're doing, then you're a threat to democracy.
Yes.
Bing.
As they try to destroy democracy.
Yes.
By importing voters.
That is literally what they're doing.
People to only vote for them and overwhelming the system.
Yes. And by the way, it's a strategy that, if allowed to work, would work. And in fact, has worked. California is supermajority Democrat.
Yeah.
And there's so much gerrymandering that occurs. It's crazy. I said at the time, I think that the reason for acquiring Twitter is because it was causing destruction at a civilizational level. I tweeted on Twitter at the time that it is it's worm tongue for the world. Like worm tongue from Lord of the Rings, where he would just sort of whisper these terrible things to the king, so the king would believe these things that weren't true. And
that's the hypnosis of Twitter. Over and over again, you repeat and you X out, you block any contrary narrative, and thus the public becomes hypnotized and believes you like the king from Lord of the Rings.
Unfortunately, Twitter really got the woke mob, essentially. They controlled Twitter. And they were pushing a nihilistic, anti-civilizational mind virus to the world.
Trans your kids, everybody. Make sure to trans your kids. If you don't want to trans your kids, you're evil if they show the slightest inkling of it. Not confusion, that's certainty that we are going to sterilize them permanently.
You see the results of that mind virus on the streets of San Francisco, where downtown San Francisco looks like a zombie apocalypse. It's bad. So we don't want the whole world to be a zombie apocalypse. But that's that was essentially, they were pushing this very negative, nihilistic, untrue worldview.
In other words, the whole progressive worldview that the Democrats have adopted for their party because they're scared to stand up to these people
on the world, and it was causing a lot of damage.
Trying to shit on everything he does, hide all the good stuff. You didn't hear a peep about Elon rescuing those people. That should have been on all.
Talking about the space station rescue that Elon made.
All of the news stories all day long. We should have had a live stream of it. It should have been a huge national event. We're finally going to rescue the astronauts who are trapped in the space station for 8 fucking months. And this super genius, this Elon Musk character, is the guy who figured out how to go get them. His company went and rescued them because we can't do it anymore. We couldn't rescue them. We had to rely on his company, and you don't hear shit about it. You don't hear shit about it. It's crazy. You hear a few stories. They're having a hard time coming back, but why weren't they live streaming the whole thing? That's a huge moment.
Yeah. Why? Because they don't want to give any credit to Donald Trump, Elon Musk, that wing, because the media is a bought and paid for entity by the Democrat establishment.
We're recovering these poor people. Like, this is a giant special interest story that would grab so many headlines, and it would have so much ratings because everybody wants to see it. Oh my God, they're going to get the astronauts. You'd be sitting on your couch with your family. Are they going to get them? Is it going to dock? Is it going to work?
Yeah.
You know, all that shit.
But
just so you guys know, the whole reason behind that initially was because they did not want to approve of anything that could sway the election in Trump's favor. So the Biden administration put the kibosh on going to get the astronauts. There will be no rescue before the election. Talk about putting politics over human life, over brave astronauts that risked their own for scientific research. Follow the science, they'll tell you, but not if that might interfere with the election prospects of the Democrat Party. That's what they were talking about there.
Where they lock people up for memes and stuff. Literally. Yeah.
12,000 people this year.
12,000?
12,000. 12,000 arrested for social
people
media
in
posts.
England arrested for social media posts.
I mean, yeah, some of
Crazy.
these things you read about it, and it's like literally, it's someone had a meme on their phone that they didn't even send to anyone,
Right.
and they're like in prison for that.
Yeah.
Because they committed a thought crime. They thought of an inappropriate joke. Therefore, the English state is permitted to put them in prison. And in order to incarcerate them, remove convicted felons of rape, of murder, because it's far more important in a communist society to imprison those who are antithetical to your state power.
And there was a case in Germany where a woman got a longer sentence than the guy that raped her because of something she said on a group chat.
Wow. Was it?
She was gang raped by a group. I did some research on this previously, and she made a statement that the German government decided was over the line and therefore received a longer sentence. Yep, it's true.
Her?
Yes.
Yeah. It was his culture.
Yeah.
He didn't know. He didn't know better.
Cultures don't mix.
Yes, I think she said something, not like was critical of his culture, and she got a longer sentence than the guy who raped her in Germany.
The UK, Europe, and Germany, England thing seems so insane.
It's totally insane. I actually didn't realize it was like such a huge number of people that got
12,000. Yeah, far above Russia, far above China,
right,
far above anywhere on Earth. UK is number one.
The whole interview is fantastic, and I highly recommend that you check it out. They talked about the fact that if the Democrats had won in November of last year, that it would have been the last real election because they would have just imported voters as they did to the state of California that turned it into a one-party state. And that's what they would have done. They would have granted everybody amnesty in the name of being compassionate and good, but all it had to do with was with the election prospects. The same way that they did not allow Elon to go and rescue the astronauts struck and stranded at the space station before the election, because they don't want anybody interfering with their power. The same way that Arctic frost is gaining no publicity on the mainstream news channels because it's antithetical to those who are paying their paycheck, to those leftists that have convinced themselves that this is the proper way to view the world because they're the ones who are paying me, and so we're completely on their team. The same way that the Democrats are shutting down the government right now because they want money to go flowing to their illegals, as Elon said at the outset during the first clip that I took, because this is what keeps that program alive and how they can take over and have a permanent majority, and the only thing that is important to them is power. That's what they crave, and that is what they are trying, like a giant amoeba, to absorb, and by any means necessary, and that includes trampling over your rights. So do check out the whole interview. It's fascinating. I just wanted to bring you a few highlights and clips and maybe send you on your way to the full interview. God bless everybody. Leave your thoughts in the comments section. Make sure to thumb up the video, and peace out.